Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this morning we're reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, text number 36. Matang paramatang unmatang suptam bhalang striyang jadam prapanam viratang bitang naripumhanti dharmavid matang paramatang unmatam suptam bhalam striyang jadam prapanam virathang bitam naripumhanti dharmavid matang paratamang unmatam suptam bhalam striyam jadam prapanam viradham bitam naripum handi dharmavid matang paramatam unmatam suptam bhalam striyam jadam prapanam viradham bitam naripum hanti dharmavid. Matang, careless. Pramatam, intoxicated. Ummatam, insane. Siptam, asleep. Balam, boy. Striyam, woman. Jadam, foolish. Prapanam, surrendered. Viratam, one who has lost his chariot. Bitam, afraid. Na, not. Ripum, enemy. Hanti, kill. Dharmavit, one who knows the principles of religion. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. A person who knows the principles of religion does not kill an enemy who is careless, intoxicated, insane, asleep, afraid, or devoid of his chariot. Nor does he kill a boy, a woman, a foolish creature, or a surrendered soul. Purport. An enemy who does not resist is never killed by a warrior who knows the principles of religion. Formerly, battles were fought on the principles of religion and not for the sake of sense gratification. If the enemy happened to be intoxicated, asleep, etc., as above mentioned, he was never to be killed. These are some of the codes of religious war. Formerly, war was never declared by the whims of selfish political leaders. It was carried out on religious principles, free from all vices. Violence carried out on religious principles is far superior to so-called non-violence. Om Ajnanatamrandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuram Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Mukam Gordavatalang Bangam Ayate Gurim Nitkripa Bande Shigurum Dinataranam Vanchakapati Yascha Kripa Sinu Devacha Patitanam Bhavanevya Vaishnavevya Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Ashwatthama made a really bad choice. He killed 5 boys that were asleep. And here it said this is not according to religion. So we all make choices in our life. And some choices are good and some are bad. So Ashwatthama, he made a major mistake in choosing to be friends with Duryodhana. You know, he could have been friends with the Pandavas. He was a son of Dronacharya. Dronacharya is an extremely respected personality. He was the teacher of all the Kurus in archery and combat. And Arjuna, he didn't want to fight for 2 reasons. One, he was going to fight against Bhishma, who raised him from the time that they were just babies, practically, just children. And he had to fight against Dronacharya. So much affection for Dronacharya. So he didn't want to fight. For these 2 reasons, he would have to fight against these 2 great personalities. And Ashwatthama was the son of this great personality. And he was living amongst the Pandavas and the Kurus. He could have chosen to be friends with the Pandavas, great devotees. And you know, that great devotion would have rubbed off onto him. But he chose to be friends with Duryodhana and his brothers, who were, Duryodhana was such a bad person that there was so many bad omens when he was born that Vidura told Dhritarashtra, she killed him because he was just so many bad omens. He said, this guy is, he's Kali personified. You know, but he was, can't kill your son. But yeah, and it turns out that because of Duryodhana, the whole Kuru dynasty was destroyed, except for Parikshit. He was the only one that survived because of this one evil person. So Ashwatthama made a major mistake in choosing to have Duryodhana as his friend. And even at the end of Duryodhana's life, he displeased Duryodhana because he thought that he had killed the Pandavas. And he went to Duryodhana. Duryodhana is practically on his deathbed. He said, I killed the Pandavas. He said he chopped off their heads. He brought one of the heads and he smashed it That wasn't the Pandavas. Because it wouldn't have been so easy to crush. They were the sons of the Pandavas. So yeah, even he displeased his master at the end of his life. So, yeah, we're all making choices in this life. We all made very good choices in that we chose to be under the shelter of lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya, Panchatattva. It's a good choice. But now we'll have other choices. We could choose to continue on or not. Just like in the early days of our ISKCON society, 1966, devotees were joining, and they were so happy. Chant and be happy. It was such a nice movement. Devotees were very happy. And then someone left. And devotees were shocked. Like, how could someone leave, go back into the material world? They were shocked. And Prabhupada heard it. He was also surprised. How can they go back out into Maya again? And then sometime later, someone else left. And again they were surprised. Then Prabhupada eventually said, don't be surprised about those who leave. Be surprised about those who stay. Because Maya is so powerful. So powerful. And what are we? We're just conditioned souls struggling. Maya is so powerful. Daivi hesu guna maya mama maya drajya. Mama ve pavajnate maya mitrantaradite. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is very difficult to overcome. Radhanath Swami is saying, actually it's an understatement. It's very, very, very difficult to overcome. But one who surrenders unto me can easily cross beyond it. So we have to choose. If we're intelligent, we'll always choose to serve Krishna and not Maya. We've always got the choice. Right now we have the choice. We've always got the choice. Serve Krishna or serve Maya. Like Asvatthama, he had the choice to be friends with the Pandavas or Duryodhana. Wrong choice. Mahat sevam dvora mahori muktes tamo dvoram yositam sangi sangam mahantas te samachita pasanta vamanyava sur saravoye. That if one serves great devotees, then the door to liberation, the door to the spiritual world is opened just by serving the Vaishnavas. But if one chooses to serve those who are not devotees, non-devotees, then the door to hell is open. So we should always try to serve the devotees. Sopi vravre chalam bhaktim tasmani vakilavani tad bhakti susodam su. I forgot the last line. But this is a statement by Sudama, the garland maker. When Krishna went to Mathura, he met many different personalities. There's this garland maker is a great devotee. And Krishna was so pleased with him. He said, I'll give you anything you want. Imagine if Krishna came to you and said, I'll give you anything you want. What would you ask for? Ananta, what would you ask for? Difficult question. What would you ask for? You, yeah.
Devotional service.
Yes. Pure devotional service. And this is what he asked for. He asked for 3 things. He said, please give me pure devotional service. Give me friendship with your devotees and compassion for all living entities. When I read that, I thought, wow, he's sharp. I mean, he's very intelligent, because that's everything. That's everything right there. We all want pure devotional service, right? And friendship with the devotees. If we have friendship with the devotees, then we'll not want friendship with anyone else, because the devotees are the best. And compassion for all living entities. What a beautiful thing to ask for. Huh? And Krishna knew how pure he was, so he knew he's just going to ask for these, very pure things. What's interesting is he asked for pure devotional service, but he was already so pure that Krishna said, I'll give you anything you want. But he wanted more purity. He wanted more devotional service. In other words, there's no limit to the devotion that we can have for Krishna. Unlimited. And he prayed for friendship with the devotees. He's a pure devotee. I'm sure he had already so many nice, friendly relationships. But he's praying for deeper friendship with the devotees. And then he prayed for compassion. Again, he's a pure devotee. He already had compassion. He wanted more compassion. So this is something that we can also pray for. Yeah. Unfortunately, Ashwatthama didn't have this mentality. And therefore he had to pay a big price. So he chose to serve those who were of low character instead of serving those who are of high character. If he would have served Yudhisthira, Arjuna, and Bhima, and Nakul, and Sahadev, these are great devotees, he would have advanced. And this verse goes on to say, who is an advanced devotee? Mahat sevam dvoram ahori tamo dvoram yosita mahantaste. Mahantaste samachita. They're these great souls, they see everyone equally. Vidya vanya sampane brahmane gavihastani suni chaya spakachas pandita samata. They see the brahmana, the elephant, the cow, the dog, the donkey, are all the same. Because he sees everybody as a spirit soul. Wouldn't it be nice to see everybody as a spirit soul? To see everyone equally. Yeah. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, friends and enemies, seeing them equally. It's very elevated. Yeah. To see the soul in everyone. So Prabhupada said this is one of the results of chanting pure Hare Krishna, that we get realization that we're the soul. That we get realization that everybody is a soul. Sometimes people, like I was preaching to one boy, he said, he can't understand. He said, I can't understand that we're the soul within. He got books from me, actually. He was chanting Hare Krishna and everything, coming to the temple. But Krishna says, Ascharyavat pasiti kastina, Ascharyavat tayavachanya. Krishna says that some, they look on the soul as amazing. Some describe the soul as amazing. Some hear of the soul as amazing. And some, even after hearing about him, can't understand him at all. So I told this person, you're not alone. You're not alone. It's difficult to understand the soul. One thing, we can't see it. Sometimes people, they say like that, well, I can't see it, I don't believe it. I don't see God, I don't believe it. Yeah. But there's so many things that we can't see, but we know exist. For instance, there's air in this room. We're all breathing air. No one has ever seen air. Or how about time? Anybody here ever seen time? We see the effects of time, but we don't see time. How about intelligence? We all have some intelligence. Can't see it. Can't see the mind. You can see the brain. You can see the brain, the muscle. You can't see the mind. It's subtle. There's thoughts. All of us have thoughts. No one has ever seen a thought. So many things that are so important to us, no one has ever seen. So the reason they can't be seen is because they're subtle. Even the atom, no one's ever seen the atom. There's a process by which one can understand the atom exists. So similarly, there's a process by which one can understand that the soul exists. There's a process by which one can understand Krishna exists. It's sadhana bhakti. By practicing Krishna consciousness, one gets realization that one is the soul within, and there's a supreme soul. I mean, it's logical that there's some higher being organizing everything. You know, just like we take it for granted, all the nice fruits and vegetables we get. But it's amazing, you know, you put an apple seed in the ground, it's just some dirt. And you add water, and a tree comes up. An apple tree pops up with nice apples, packaged. They're packaged. There's a skin there. It's amazing. And then within those apples, there's more seeds. You can make more trees. I mean, it's very mystical. We take it all for granted, but it's amazing. Nice, delicious apples. What, you know, also mangoes and peaches and what grows around here? Plums, grapes, nice fruits, huh? Pears, nice. And they all come out of the ground, then they come out of the tree and they're packaged. And they taste great. What to speak of the human being? A man impregnates a woman, and a human being grows in the womb. Yeah. And it's amazing. They come out and they all have different characteristics, and it's incredible. What to speak of the sun? You know, the sun is rising every day in the east and studying in the west, and heats the whole universe. And we don't pay an electrical bill. And it's so nice. Now it's chilly. It's in the 30s, and it's about 35 degrees out there right now. The sun comes up, it's going to warm up the whole city. And not only is it going east to west, right now the sun is also going north. It's going north, and it's going to be summer soon because it's going to keep going north every day. It's going more and more north until there's the summer solstice. And then at one point, that 1 second, it starts going south again. And this has been going on for millions of years. So that's incredible. This is Krishna. He's a very good engineer. He's a fruit engineer. He's a planetarian engineer. This is Krishna. He's great. Sometimes people say they're God. But people don't understand, what does it mean to be God? It's like I met one person some years back, and he said he was God. And I said, well, do you know what it means to be God? God creates universes. When was the last time you created a universe? He said, yeah, not recently. So people don't know what it means to be God. Another guy said he was God, and I said, well, one of the characteristics of God is He knows everything. Can you tell me what I'm thinking? He said, yeah, you think I'm a rascal. I said, yeah, okay, you're right. All right. I was also thinking of a number. Can you tell me the number? I said, no. So there's, as Bhaktisiddhanta says, what Thakur said, there's the cheaters and the cheated. And then there's the devotees. But we should serve the devotees. Mahantaste samachita prashanta. Prashanta means peaceful. A devotee is peaceful. Krishna Bhakti Nishkama Ateva Shanta Bhukti Mukti Siddhikami Sakli Ashanta. A devotee is peaceful because he has no material desires. But if we have these bhukti mukti, we have material desires, or we want liberation, bhukti mukti siddhi, we want mystic perfections. If we have all these material desires, then we can't be peaceful. Because we have these desires. So a devotee, he also has desires. You can't give up desires. Sometimes you meet people, they're meditators, and one of sometimes their goal is to stop desire. But I told one person, but that's also a desire. You're trying to become free of desire, but that's a desire. You can't get away from desire. But devotee desires to serve Krishna and to serve the Vaishnavas. And this brings peace. Mahantaste samachita prashanta. Vimanyava, he doesn't get angry. He doesn't get angry because he doesn't have, there's no lust. When Krishna says that Kamesh, Krodesh, Rajagunas, Mahasana, Mahapa, Vidyanam. Arjuna asks, what is it that a person is forced practically against his own will? What is it that forces him to act in a way he doesn't even want to act? It is lust only, born in the mode of passion, transformed into anger, and the all-devouring sinful enemy of the world. So from lust, from frustrated lust comes anger. Anger is the little brother of lust. Yeah. But if we desire to serve Krishna, to please Krishna, then we're in the safe zone. Yeah. Otherwise, anger will be there. Prabhupada says that when preaching Krishna consciousness, one should not become angry. Because sometimes there's frustration, or sometimes We get there's some abuse, verbal abuse, or even sometimes physical, but we should not get angry. Surya is a friend to all living entities. So when we go on book distribution, we should feel that everybody is a spirit soul, everyone's part of Krishna, and feel like they're our friends. Therefore, a devotee is friendly to everyone. And it's not impossible. They could be your own old friends in the spiritual world, because we were all there in the spiritual world. Could have been an old friend. Sadhavoye, his characteristics are sublime. So these are some of the qualities of a devotee. So by serving such Vaishnavas, then we open the door to the spiritual world. But if we serve people who are under the modes of nature, bewildered, Maya, then we also go through another door. But this door is not nice. This is the door to hell. We don't want to go there. Although there's one devotee asked Prabhupada, when you leave this world, where are you going to go? He said, well, I was thinking of going to hell and preaching in hell. The compassion. The devotee is very compassionate. He was in London and reporters said, what is your concept of love? I mean, of hell. He said, London is hell. Next day it was front page. Swamiji says, London is hell. So, any question or comment?
Hare Krišna Prabhu. Because you mentioned Ashvatthama's association with Duryodhana or with the Pandavas, and sometimes there's different shades in between. You know, so even in devotee association, there's serious devotees, less serious, interesting. How to deal with this? And
yeah, good question. Yeah, we want to associate with devotees who are who can be an inspiration to us, who are advanced. But there's other devotees who aren't so advanced, so should we just avoid them? No. No. But we should try to be good examples ourselves, so that we can be an example for them to be good devotees also. We should always be trying to encourage others to advance in Krishna consciousness. In this way, we can all grow. There's one spiritual group where the only competition in this spiritual group is to see who could serve the other the best. And I thought, well, that's a good competition there. So we should all have a service attitude toward each other. You know? And of course, towards Krishna. So, yeah. Is that okay? Maharaj he's going to make a comment.
I'm going to ask you a question. You asked you said that no one has ever seen intelligence, no one ever seen the mind, no one has ever seen air. But if a devotee can see Krishna, who's subtler than the subtlest, why can't they see the other things which are grosser than Krishna?
Well, Prabhupada could see Krishna. Actually, there's one pastime where one devotee who was the door. It was late at night. He's guarding the door. And he heard some noise in the room. And it was one of those doors where you could peek through the keyhole there. And he saw Prabhupada kind of, shuffling around on the floor. He was a little surprised. And then he had a good relationship with Prabhupada. He said, Prabhupada, last night I heard some noise. I looked through the keyhole, and you were kind of shuffling around on the floor. If you don't mind me asking, what were you doing? He said, I was wrestling with Balaram. Oh, okay, Jai Prabhupada. And there was an interview. One news reporter was interviewing Prabhupada, and he asked Prabhupada, do you see God? And Prabhupada said, yes. And there was one devotee there that said, well, he sees God in the way that he sees the energy of God. And Prabhupada said, no, I see God. So if someone is so pure, very pure, yeah, I could see God, could see Krishna. But we're like, that was Rameshwar that said that, well, he sees God in the energy. So we're like that. We could see God in his energy. Everything is. Prabhupada gave the example of the mother that sees the shoe of the child. The child has already grown up to a man, but he sees the shoe and reminds the mother of the child. So we're kind of like that. We see the energy of God, and we say, oh, that's. But I don't know if anybody here has actually seen, at least in this line, seeing Krishna. Are we seeing? You see, maybe Maharaj is. But yeah, we see Krishna in the sense that we see the energy of Krishna. But I don't think any of us have seen Krishna playing the flute or dancing. Yeah. Any other question or comment? Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Krishna, Krishna.